Hello, everyone. Welcome into Flying with Mike. Hope you're ready for another week here at Flying with Mike, even though we did fly a flight yesterday a little bit unannounced in the Piper Arrow. So I hope you all head over to YouTube and check it out. And if you're curious, if by any chance you miss anything along the way today, there's a link. We'll put it up there from time to time. But again, welcome into Flying with Mike. Today we're gonna resume a tour. For those of you on the Discord channel, already know the tour we're gonna get back into, at least for today. It's one of Millennium Aviation's. It's who we're flying for today. Their African Union Airbus tour, and it's part one. It's actually three parts. This is part one with 20 legs. And today we're flying leg 15 out of 20 in that tour. Kenneth, Kaunda International Airport, Lusaka, Zambia, to Maputo International Airport down in Mozambique. So, and actually our alternate is the final destination in this portion of the tour, Johannesburg. However, we have 4 more to go after this flight, so we're going to zigzag back up, back down eventually. So sit back, relax, enjoy. Now, we did do an aircraft swap. We are in the A319 from ToLiss. Reason being, I couldn't find a South African version. And if there is, I totally overlooked it for the Neo, which was what was scheduled. All right, so with the boarding door system ready, you know what? Let's get in here, do a quick pre-brief, and get ourselves moving here. What do you say? All right, there we are up in the cockpit. Everyone knows this is an Airbus. Hang on, let's bring in Sim Toolkit, what we use for pre-briefs. And the reason being, folks, I just think it provides a lot of information about that we can use in the flight, let alone in the post-flight review. So most importantly, for me at least, it's the post-flight. But there's other little tools in it for streamers, for regular pilots, trying to figure out where the heck you're going to fly, because I'm running into that one, folks. It's getting to be a little challenging, so I'd love you all to head over to Discord. Those of you members already on our Discord channel, thank you. And help me out. Where would you like to see us fly? You can throw in the aircraft combination, and before Hawker gets to the keyboard and types it out, no, we're not going to Singapore from JFK. One, I don't have an aircraft that can do it. Two, I don't know if I have the wherewithal to do it. It's an 18-hour flight, by the way, folks. All right, so there you have it. I've got this now cycling through in case I screw up like I did on Saturday with the Scandinavian Delight flight. Yeah, I totally forgot to replace the title. So we've got that coming up. All right, let's get into the crust of this pre-brief. Okay, we're going from Lusaka to Mozambique. We're going to be on the GADBA 1 Bravo to GADBA, UB 529 to ATUSI, and then in on the ATUSI 1A. Hopefully the runways are correct. I really didn't check them, so we'll find out. Today's loadout, folks, again, A319, not A320. 117 people. So we got a pretty good load on. 25,740 pounds of payload. We're going to uplift 17,500. Might be a little more. We'll see. And that'll bring us up to a zero fuel weight before the fuel comes on of 115,688 pounds. Okay, there again, you can see our flight plan And dispatch put us at 5, and we're going to hit 37,000, 36,000 for the majority of this flight. All right, weather-wise, here, you know, I think we're south of the equator now, so you can see it's a little winterish-y, if you will. At 21 degrees, might want to park us. Although it is really 70 degrees Fahrenheit, so you all decide that one. Winds are variable at 2, so either runway's good. And down in Mozambique, we're looking at potential for some thunderstorms coming in from the northeast. Kind of sounds like yesterday, doesn't it, with the arrow? Winds are at 07013 knots, 25 degrees Celsius down there, and again, we're in the 70s. So again, folks, beautiful, beautiful weather. Look forward to flying this, and hope y'all are enjoying. And to the followers coming back now from the break, we thank you for holding in there, and look forward for you joining us here. Giving you a chance to catch the weather here real quick. Variable winds, clear and visibility okay up here in Zambia. Down to Mozambique, thunderstorms, broken at 2,000. So we'll kind of watch this as we go. 25 degrees, 21, and again, thunderstorms to the northeast. So that's out to sea, folks, in the Indian Ocean. All right, so, and traffic, well, one stray VATSIM plane. We're going to go ahead, connect up. SAA 8, whoa, not 8229572. We are a lowly A319. Connecting. All right, let's pull this away. Now, one thing I hate to say, folks, I'm going to have to run with this. I don't get why we can't get VATSIM audio anymore. So I have to run it this way. It is what it is, so that you all can hear it as well. It takes up some precious real estate, I know, on the screen, but nothing we can do about it. So unless you want me to get rid of the nice little tracker above, I kind of like that myself. So anyway, let's get going, shall we? So I have went in and already set everything from auto to open so they don't close automatically on us. So when we look out here, we should still see the loaders, the chocks, and all the good fun stuff. Plus the main door open. With that, let's head down here and begin the loading process. What do I mean by the loading? First off, let's do a pre-check of the cockpit. Okay, we got 2,000 here. Let's go ahead and switch that on. Watch the X-Pilot up in the upper left corner there. It should say about we put it on the right frequencies. There we go, 122.8. Okay, you notice how the mode C is dark? Okay, I'm going to kind of zoom in so you can kind of see this. This is a really good example aircraft. Tomorrow's flight, we'll even take it the next step because we'll be in a Flight Factor A320. So you see that it says mode C is dark. That's when the controllers will tell you you need to squawk mode C. Okay, to do that, first off, I always now make sure this is on. We have found out this switch is not important, ToLiss. However, just go to Alt, Reporting, or Expounder, and it should go green, as it did. Okay, so that's cool. Now, next to where it says 122.8, you want to see those TX and RX just as standing out as they do. If you look the line below, the TX is not showing. That, in case that happens to you, make sure you've got your microphone on and your speaker on. Microphone will be TX, If you turn it off, I can't real easily, or did I? I just did. Okay, you see what I did? I just clicked over to this one. I think I just made the other one good. We want it this way. So that's how you set your mic, set your speaker. And yes, folks, you can turn it up and you can turn it down. All right, so that is a great feature when you get certain controllers out here and certain pilots that think they have to be heard over everybody, but they don't realize if they're stepping on someone, we're all just getting that obnoxious tone. And then I just put the multi-scan on again. So that's how I set my radios up. Okay, right in the beginning, we're set, ready to go. All right, real quick checklist. Speed brakes are down and not armed. If they were, you'd see the. Hang on. You'd see that white band. Let's push it back down. If you do, flaps are 0. And the only indicator in the cockpit's right here below your engine number 2 stuff. This will deploy out when your flaps deploy out. Okay. Coming into the middle here, we want to make sure landing gear down, 3 green. And up top here, since we already have it, basically I go in between flights. So what that means is you're hooked to the external power. Now I turned the fuel pumps off. So just make sure you're on the external power. Let's do a battery check real quick. Okay. All right, we're good. And I've turned my strobes to auto. Nav 1 or 2, pick it, whichever you want, folks. It's not 1 for nav, 1 for logo, or both. Irregardless which one you set it to, the logo lights come on. It's meant so that in the wingtips, when you perform your exterior inspection, if you find one of the lights on the end out, try the other switch, and if they come on, you're good to go. Otherwise, the mechanic has to come out and fix that, folks. That's a required item. And if I'm wrong, folks, please, in the chat, let me know. Let me know in Discord, please. I'll stop spreading the bad rumors. Or taking work away from one, you know, or adding work to you. What am I saying? And while I'm here, folks, go ahead, kick the smoking light on and arm the lights, emergency lights. All right, we talked about loading. Let's head down here and do it. All right, you have 2 buttons here, mechanic and attendant. Mechanic does just what you think. Your external power, chocks, high pressure, low pressure air. If you don't have, and shame on you if you don't, better pushback, it is a better pushback, folks. It's free. All you got to do is download it, stick it in your plugins, and away you go. If you don't, there's a pushback in here. Here's where we're going to put our fuel for the flight today. We're uplifting 17,000, at least 17,500. Click, 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 click. 1, 2. All right, so 600's the closest we can get to it. Let's do it. Requesting. And here comes the fuel truck. He'll hook into the single point refueling and uplift our what's needed to make 17,600 pounds. And when he's done, away he goes. All right, back down here. Next up, let's take a look at it. For now, I am going to 0 and put 200 there and load. We'll come back. I'll explain it in a minute what I'm doing. And then we're going to go over here, doors open. We need 117. Boink, boink, boink. And then we'll just back off a couple. Load. Okay. Here's why. All right, let's go to weight and balance. Reset the current. Let me do it again just to make sure. Okay, so there's our fuel expected. So we want to make our zero fuel weight as close as possible. Now, I have found empty cargo usually works here. We're going to have to drop to 200 because we're still, we'll be still about 100 pounds over. And that's the best we can do, folks. So we'll get back down here, pull up the mechanical. Be very careful using the minus key. You don't want to request de-ice because it will take a little bit. Go to 0, load, clear it. Yeah, I did that once. I'm just warning you because I did it once. Reset to 0. So now we're 115,787. We're wanting 115,688. Who in the heck put an extra 99 pounds on? We'll go with it, folks. I somehow don't think that's going to prevent us from getting off the runway. Just my thinking here, folks. You know, kind of thinking a little crazy here. All right, so we're done here. Okay, and I've got those cleared away. Okay, so we've done, oops, the battery ground control. Ground control, folks, is this switch here. If you turn it on, you can test your cockpit voice recorder. That tone. Okay, leave it on. Moving up, I got the captain purser switch. Oh, by the way, let's just do a test. Okay, keep moving up. We'll get these in just a second. Okay. Do our APU fire test. Sounds good to me. I get my engines at the same time. It's a little further in the checklist, but while we're here, why not? And then just so you can see what's back there, not a whole lot. All right. With the fire checks done, with everything done, let's kick that APU over. And we need to clear the status, so all you got to do is click status, looking for flap open, and then we're good to go, and we're going to start moving down this checklist. By the way, folks, you know we've been flying multiple flights here of late. We will only be doing one today. Have a meeting, a gospel community meeting. I'd like to be there. By the way, the verse of the day that you saw up there, folks, was part of the sermon we had at church yesterday. And from what I kind of knew, but I didn't realize just how in depth those first two verses in Psalm 121 were in many of the Psalms. So, and if you didn't see it, it's, I lift my eyes up to the hills. From where does my help come? My help comes from the Lord who made heaven and earth. So, find that in a lot of the Psalms, folks. By the way, those that aren't very Bible knowledge, we'll just call it that way, a Bible. The Psalms are in the Old Testament. They are the mostly, many, not this one, but many were made by King David. So, all right, APU is on. All right. And again, we don't have to turn the generator on or anything. All of that happens pretty much automatic. And I know there's ways to do it if MELs and stuff like that are broken, you know, things are broken. You can and would have to maybe kick it on. Let's go ahead, put her on normal for now. Now the packs, oh, we haven't even turned the bleed valve on yet. All right, so the APU's on. Cockpit lights, they're set. Let's check that we have all our bulbs burning. Okay. Okay, they're all burning. Go ahead and turn the dome light off. And bleed's coming on. Should see the fault lights go out for the packs. However, Gen 1, Gen 2 will stay because the engines aren't running. And our ventilation looks good, cross bleeds auto and pack normal. Although I may push it to high. I didn't check this. We are at 3,800 feet. Let's go ahead and push it to high for now. Okay. Pre-flight. Okay, time for the ADers. And like Boeing, Airbus doesn't know how to count either. 1, 3, 2. Huh? I'm not sure what math they learned or how they learned to count. Okay, and then I'm going to push it over to status so that way we can see how long it takes to align. All right, but we're going to continue on here. Strobe lights, we've got them set to auto. All that means, folks, is when the wheels extend, when we leave the ground, the strobe lights start going in case that loose nut that's in that left seat of the aircraft forgets. Which he always does. I tell you, give smacks happen to him all the time. For those that may not be familiar with the Give Smack, the show NCIS here in the States, I know it gets out to a few countries. If you get a chance, watch the early ones. Denozo gets a hand up the backside of the head. It's been called the Give Smack. Nav lights are set. Seatbelts going on. Already got the smoking lights set. Emergency lights are in the armed position. Landing elevation auto. Moving our way on up, we've got our pack valve now, or pack flow valve set to high, and we can go ahead and kick those fuel pumps on. By the way, folks, if you forget, most aircraft in flight sim world are forgiving, allow you to forget and still start. ToLiss, not so much. All right, we've done our engine fire checks. Radio 3 looks good. Radio 2 now set properly, or Radio 1, COM 2 set the way we want. We're ready to go. Radar set, transponder set. That means, folks, it's time to begin to program the MEC-DO. Now, the one thing we will again not be playing with like Saturday are for SimBrief's new performance information. We will be doing that later in the week when we bring Zebo out, but while we're on these, we shouldn't need it. May use it with the A320 tomorrow from Flight Factor. Can't remember. All right, so all we want to do, verify. Basically, you're verifying. So you got the right engines, and I can hear the jumping for joy in the background that the IAE engines are on. I don't know why. I kind of like the CFMs. 17 May to 13 June, so we got a little time for the next update. And everything else looks good here, so we'll go to the init page. Now, if you have a SimBrief account, you can tie the SimBrief account number, not your login, to ToLiss, and what it's going to do is reach out to SimBrief when we do something here, pull your flight plan in, pull in the winds aloft, and that data can then be used to process your takeoff data. Not the takeoff machine that's already, well, now a week old into SimBrief, but it's been there a lot bit longer than that. So, all right, so we can either hit init request here or by hitting function, and you have them here. I'm going to just do it the old-fashioned easy way. Click it here because we're going to continue on from here. All right, so it is done. Clear, clear, clear. Bear with me, I forgot what spot we're in. A2, thank you. Why did I need that? Okay, we're getting ready to align the IRS. We can actually set it to the gate system here. So what I'm going, that's the wrong page. Stand by. There we go. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of Xpilot for now so you all can see. Before we go online, hopefully our moderator who had to go lurk, he's working. Yeah, somebody's got to make money, you know, for his family. Actually, his wife does too, so I better watch it. I could hear the frying pan being thrown in my direction. Hopefully he gets it for, all right. So what am I doing here? Very simple. Let me get rid of this one. I'm going to bring charts in. All right, we're looking at the ramp here for Lusaka? Did I Lusaka? Well, Kaunda. I'm going because I've got it right here in front of my face. All right, we're in stand A2. So as long as it says south 1519.6, which it does not, so you see it just basically up or down. So 15 19 minutes, 19.6 minutes south. Now, to get it over here, you need those up-down arrows will tell you where they work. Longitude, 2 degrees, 28 degrees, 27.0. All right, again, up, down. Okay, and once these are correct, 15, 19.6, okay, and 28, 27.0. All right, hit align IRS. Now, when, be gone charts, when we reach 0 and it finalizes the alignment, it just moved it from wherever the reference point for the airport is to within gate A2 or A3 or A4. Somewhere in there, that's where that GPS fix is. So we've narrowed it down from an airport to pretty much your stand. Okay, now let's get the winds. We can do it right from here too. And again, these are pulling from SimBrief. So whatever SimBrief's world has the winds, which should be real world, that's what you're getting here. All right, and then back to F-plan. Oh wait, I'm sorry, Int'l. My bad. Okay, so that's where we were. Verify. I'm off by 1. I ain't going to worry about it. 3744. We'll go with this. I'm going to go ahead and go to page 2. Checklist says do that after F-plan. We're going to go now because we're here. 3 puts us right here on our information to verify. 115.7. Okay, I can kind of go either way, 0.8 or 0.7. 28.6. I'm just going to go. It's perfect. Int'l, welcome, sir. Thank
just
you.
Subscribed for 11 months. Bedtime for
Has
me, but wanted to drop by and wish you a pleasant stream and flight.
Been around here for 11 months. Wow. Thank you so much, sir. We appreciate you being here, Int'l, and hope the Danish runs, Scandinavian runs, however we want to say it, were interesting to you. Even though I almost got hit on one and other problems, but we made it through alive. But thank you, sir, so much. And our fuel looks good, so pressing on. To the F-plan page, let's bring charts back in because we're going to need them. All right, so we're going to go ahead, get rid of these. Here's the route, folks, that we're looking to fly. I'm going to go ahead, if it's not there already, put it in the box for you all to read. there in the chat box. And now we're going to make this all happen. Again, the game plan today is runway 28. Just to give you a visual. So we're taking off west to then do whatever the GADBA 1B does. Okay. Matter of fact, let's look at it. 1 Bravo is, these are for, all of these are for 128. Now we're back to what the U.S. community is used to, where you have a single star with a whole bunch of transitions, where a lot like Europe and we saw in the Far East, each of those, like this would be, hang on, GADBA would be a star, or SID, Timix, Ibisol, Alvamo, and a number and whatever. But you see those, that's how they do it. The U.S. just makes one star SID and then transitions it out, where a lot of other places, each of those transitions is the name of the SID. Pressing on, let's click FLKK. Departure, hit our runway 28, and now we look for this, for the GADBA 1B. Great airplane. Why aren't we seeing transitions? Oh, they kind of still do it too. I just realized that. They do it too. They tricked me. They kind of do it too. What did my screen go out for? Hang on. I know why. It ran out of power. Oh, yeah, you gotta love it. All right, let's get this in a position where you can see it. All right, what we got to do first is move our switch to plan, dial down to like 40. All right, and then we'll insert. Oh, Lord, I love when things like that happen, folks. Forgot all about that. I wasn't plugged back in. Yeah, my laptop needed that. All right, so let's step through, shall we? And folks, this is the same thing you do in Boeing. You just come over here, you make sure your arc is in plan and set whatever range is comfortable for you. And then, hang on, I'm just getting back. There we go. All right, so, and then you would use the step key here if you're in a 737 or most Boeings. Here we use the arrows. And we just kind of step through. One, make sure they're right. Two, if we had to type something in to make sure it doesn't skew off several hundred miles or thousands in some case miles from what you wanted. Okay, we're just walking it, looking real good. ATUSI, there's our fix. And now just clear this out. So we just walked all the way down to here. Now, currently, we are planning runway 5. METAR there currently, as of an hour and 7 minutes ago. Again, it's the middle of the night there. Well, not really. It's evening there. Let's see. 070 and 13 with thunderstorms. So for now, we'll plan coming in runway 5, which will be to the north. Okay. Click on it. All right, so we're going at ATUSI 1A. So our arrival will be, here's the fun thing about charts. Let's kind of zoom in here. I don't know what approach I want to fly. Looks like we're going to be hung on an RNAV. All right. Let's take a look at it. Okay, we've got two choices here. We could go the initial fix being approach fix being XAGRI or XOTID. Considering the way the star works out, we're coming down this way. Let's just do this one. All right, so it's an RNAV, runway 5. Okay, we're coming in at ATUSI. Hang on a second. I'm going to add that to the route. There we go. So we're coming in at ATUSI 1A. Okay. Via XAGRI. And there's no transitions again. Like I said, this is, how most countries handle it, different than the U.S. Although the U.S. may come around to this. I kind of like it. All right, so let's just continue on from ATUSI. We go to UVGAR, UVAMA, XAGRI. There we go. And real quick, XOTOT, XOTIX, and then the runway. All right, so everything's working out great here. Just in case, the blue means that's where we go out to our missed approach fix to hold, which is XAGVA. Now, if we need to divert from here over to Johannesburg, oh, sorry about that, folks. Here is most of our route, minus the approach and departure. Wow. And then there it is, Johannesburg. All right, so everything looks good here. We'll pull it back to ARC. And for now, we are ready to go here. Let's clear that and center up here. Okay, and for now, we're done with the nav display. Let me get rid of charts. Okay, so next up, we've got the flight plan in. Go to RadNav. And we're set pretty decently. Now we go to the perf page. And now we get to play with the takeoff performance. I'm just reading the METAR here, which is an hour and 11 minutes old. Pretty sure that's what we're showing here. Variable. Yeah, pretty much that's what we're showing here, folks. We'll just go with what's here. All right. Again, we're going to plan no matter what air conditioner on for takeoff. So we got a 12,000, call it almost 13,000 foot run. We're 3,000 feet though above sea level, and I don't have a density altitude. All right, so what I did is just simply click flex. So we're going to have 3,100 feet of runway, And we, if we use the lowest V1 number here, 106, we'll have over 8,000 foot. So I'm going to just go with these numbers, 138, 138, 140, flex at 61 degrees, 1 degree or 1 on our flaps, and we'll just call it. Pretty simple today. Uplink, 1020. Is that right? 1020, yes. Okay, winds, we're putting in 049. Close enough, okay. All right, and then I click takeoff request. Now, I've never waited for the dot to come back. I don't know how long that takes. But I end up just going on over to received. There it is. And now this is if you were going to go toga, meaning full power. Flex means we're making the power flexible. Instead of being rigid with full power, we're pulling it back to where we have enough for takeoff, enough for climb, enough to get into cruise. Why burn up an engine when you can kind of, I'll use the term, but it's probably incorrect, baby the engine to get it to the major overhaul, because that's millions of dollars that you really do need running on the wings. So I'll just, so that's what this is, full power. Here's flex takeoff, 61, okay, flaps 1, 4, yep, all right, insert. Transition altitude 6,000, I'm gonna check, that matches, okay. All right, so we're good to go. I'm not gonna worry about these, and here we go. Let's get this plane airborne. What do you think? All right, not bad. Okay. Okay, so we're to the altimeter setting, 1020. Flight directors are both on, LS and constraints if we should have to come back. Okay, so the speed and heading are set to managed. Altitude. Pretty sure we're not going to have ATC, but just in case. Do not have an intermediate altitude. We just got to stay, and it will hold us all the way to GADBA at 12,500. So we're going to take it all the way up. I think it's 37 for the initial. Initial is 37. And VOR, 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 VOR. Okay, so anti-skid nose wheel steering's on, 3 green, gear lever down. Switches are all 5 or all 4 pointing 12 o'clock. Transponder, gonna go ahead, switch it on now. And folks, we're ready to go. I hope you are. All I gotta do is call better pushback. I'm gonna start releasing equipment. So all we do is go to the mechanical page. Plus, I go plus just to make sure I don't screw up accidentally. Yes, I have done it, folks. Clicked any ice. Give them a few minutes. We'll go ahead and get better pushback on the way. It really is a better pushback.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
We'll just go right here.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
All right. I'm going to get the ACARs moved. for that sniffle, folks. Perfect. Connected. And let's get the jetway. Let's actually go ahead, close up.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Hey, well, she's connecting. You do need to make sure up here. Disconnect external power first, then come down here and disconnect chocks. If you don't pull the chocks, folks, guess what? Plane won't move when you want it to. It'll do everything you see here. Rise up because it's a nose wheel hugger, but it will
So
not.
connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
It's making a quick check. The standard for him to say that. Doors closed. Go, brakes off.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Alright, we're just waiting for the word avail up here. We started number 2 first. Okay, there's the word avail. So now that basically is telling us we can start number 1. I'm going to go ahead and just do that. Get us going so we can get taxiing. Also going to clear the GPS primary and put us on F plan right here. So we're ready to go. Now, I did not put us up on the center line. I've been noticing that while at the place I worked at, they didn't either. And
Operation complete.
they would
Go ahead and
taxi.
set the parking brake.
Set that parking brake. Brake set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Clear to disconnect. Alright, and again, waiting for avail. Now, in case you think you missed it, if your N2 here is not gray highlighted like you see engine 1, and you don't see anything really moving, there's a good chance you missed it. Proceed with your next options. There's avail. What I do is start the timer, and then we start going through. All right. APU bleed off. Ground spoilers to arm, flaps to 1.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have fun up there.
We always have fun up there. Thanks, better pushback. Have a great day. And thanks for flying with Mike. Well, we'll go through it. Hang on. All she's going to do is drive her little tug over here, step out, let us see the signal, the pins, and we're ready to go, folks. Thumbs up, we're ready to go. All right, so now we're to the point that I really do wish Boeing would learn. One, from acquisitions, and two, from the competitor. They can sit there and go, well, the competitor would claim this and that. Well, you acquired a company that did this. The pitch trim, kind of guesstimated in Boeing. You don't here, folks. You said it specifically. Very simple. Tells me right here, flaps 1. Okay, we've already done that. It says that right there. Trim, horizontal stabilizer up 0.4. Boeing, you got to kind of guess at it. Here, you don't. Pitch trim, 0.4. Or whatever it tells you right there. There's no guesswork to it. Oh, by the way, they acquired McDonnell Douglas. The MD-11 tells you to. Okay, now one thing again out of sequence. I just do it because I'm here. I check my surfaces, make sure there's no gust locks. Basically go full deflection, bring it back, see if it zeros, and it does. Full deflection, bring back the elevator, the rudder. And then I kind of do a freedom, make sure they all work. All right, so we got the big steps done for taxi, except for, let's head up here and shut down the APU. And one other thing we can do here, folks, we can actually, for fun, just click arm doors and check slides. Boom. Nose wheel light, taxi light, elapsed time on. We're above 3 minutes, so we're good to go. Auto brake, max, cabin, alert. Okay. And finally, taxi light to taxi, runway lights to, and clear. And I'm trying to see if I got anything else. We're going to go for pushback. Or going for taxi as soon as we get the radar set. Here we go. Let's test our config. Everything's good. Believe it or not, folks, I used to, and still do from time to time, get oil temperatures not to the right likings of the system and all of that good fun stuff. So, but when you have a lengthy taxi like this, that oil temperature will be up by the end of the run. But now with the single engine taxis, that could delay takeoffs. Let's head on down. Ease on down the road. Now, folks, this is about a 2.5 hour flight down there, so that is why we're only going to be able to get one today. Tomorrow we have 2 planned. We'll be doing some Allegiant flying out east. Hope y'all enjoy that. And then Wednesday is going to kind of be one of the big days. We got 2 flights planned with American I think you'll enjoy. And then Thursday, a couple of flights with FedEx. All of this bearing anything going on job-wise. That's what a little bit of the delay was today. Had a phone call to take regarding my unemployment. All right, so again, Hawker 125 is lurking, may be back. I haven't been able to really check up here much. Trying to get the bird moving. But he is moderating. And folks, by chance, I didn't really get to say it, although I gave him the proper shout outs and all. Folks, if you see Hawker 125 up, or you know what, just go to his site. You know what, it doesn't hurt to give him a second shout out. Head on over, give him a follow, folks. He would sure appreciate you. You will catch him online when he's able. He just a new affiliate with Twitch, and check him out. You never know what you're going to run into with the man. So my applause went away. I know why. I'll have to fix that. Okay. Anyway, that was supposed to be a nice applause for him. So, but he is an affiliate now, but you might catch him playing the drums or teaching you playing the drums. You might catch him on a flight sim. Oh my. Especially DCS of days. Or flight sim. Or he just might be playing some kind of game. So check him out. Give him a nice follow, and you know, just let him know Flying with Mike sent you. By the way, I've known the man better part of what, 15, 20 years? Pretty close. So really good guy there, and good to watch streaming, especially if you want to learn how to play the drums. Hopefully he doesn't get into singing. That could be a problem then. All right, folks, so runway's coming up. Let's make sure we're ready to go. All right, transponder TARA. Let's make sure radar is on. Go ahead. We'll go ahead and stay on ignition. We are TARA. Radar is on. And I'm not going to promise anything here, folks. I don't know the actual source, that X-plane. I know they've changed according to Austin with 1.0 here version. So I'm not certain where they get their weather for Africa. So that could be why we're clear skies here. But then again, it did say clear visibility okay. If I'm, yeah, KVOC. So we'll see. All right, final check. Nose wheel lights ready. Takeoffs, chronos. We're ready to go. Now, we're not in the U.S., folks, so we're not on CTAF where we got to find the CTAF and all of that. 122.8 is perfect. Kaunda International, Springbok 572, departing runway 28. Haha, fooled y'all. Do it. South African goes by Springbok. Although I don't know why they don't go by South African. That's kind of cool. Okay, let's go ahead. All right, clear for takeoff, runway 28. Here we go, folks. Hope y'all enjoy. Buckle up. Time to go fly with Mike. Okay, let's bring them up to 50%. Okay, stable. Here we go. Flex. Speed's alive. Both sides. V1. Rotate. Up we go. Positive rate gears coming up. Went ahead and turned the autopilot on. We'll bring it back to thrust climb. We're out of here, folks. Real quick, I know the ignition's on. Let's kind of get her turning here, and then we'll turn that off. But there you have it, folks. The African Dark Continent, there is. We're already through transition, standard, and away we go, folks. Pretty much that simple. Just go back in here. Brakes are back to normal, and speed brakes are retracted and not armed. And we're going ahead and climbing up. Hope y'all enjoy the ride, folks. Great day, beautiful day here in Zambia. All right, folks. We are currently 1 hour and 20 minutes out. So, like I said, we will not be able to get another flight in today. So, there were extenuating circumstances to getting going today. Plus, I really still put the job hunt in front of the flight sim, mainly because I need to find out, is that one? Oh, it is. Okay. Because I need a job. I mean, love streaming, would love to make this my job, but would need a lot more subscribers, folks. And not to YouTube, although God bless you all. I love you all over there. I need them on Twitch because unfortunately, we're not monetized yet over at YouTube. I don't know when they're going to monetize us, if ever. So we're approaching 500, I think. I lost track again. Guys have been subscribing left and right over there, and I've kind of lost track where we're at. Yeah, okay, we still got a good 100 to go, at least to get to the 500 mark, let alone push over to get monetized. So, but anyway, folks, hey, I am not pushing for subscribing in YouTube, folks, is just like following here in Twitch. It just lets you know when we're going to be either live on Twitch or when a new video gets posted on our channel here. Once we get monetized, then you could become a member over at YouTube, and that we'll have to figure all of that out when we get there. But right now, we're still just a normal channel with content, basically a whole bunch of videos. I think we're up to 515 videos over there, folks. From our days of flying in Alaska on a tour with Millennium Air, MACAIR, to this flight to, one of them right here, Liberia to Dakar, GUI, one of my favorite names out there, GUI for the ICAO. GOOY, it's Senegal. Now, I believe that airport is no longer in service. It's a different airport there in the Dakar area. So anyway, we're back here. We're in the other side of Africa. That's the west coast. We're headed to the southeast coast. We'll be landing just north of the South African border. And then I don't know where the next flight goes from there with this series. I'm hoping nope, I closed it. So, folks, we just leveled off. Let me do a quick system check so we can balance our tanks out. And basically what a system check is, folks, just what it sounds like. We're going to go through each of these buttons using the all and make sure everything's in good working order. Oh, wait, hydraulic. Oh, okay, we're good. Fuel. Okay, we got a little disparity here, so let's go up. Okay, right now, folks, the left side is fueling engine 1. The right side is fueling number 2. By turning the cross feed on, both sides are filling both engines. To perform this, we're going to just shut off the pumps for engine 1. I always like to make sure the engines are working still. We're almost there. Now, don't kill the transfer valve first, folks, or cross-feed. Go with your engine pumps. Surprised none spilled in yet. There it goes. And once you reach 5390, kick them back on. Okay, cross feeds closed, and we're back to normal. Kill, and that. All right, folks, we'll be right back.
chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through.
All right, folks, that went a little longer than expected. We're back with you as we continue on. Hope the music helped ease the time, or you probably all went, oh, much better. Hey, I actually heard it this time, folks. Okay, let me get in here and turn that up a little more. Oh, welcome in, Stefan A380. Thanks for coming aboard. Hope you're having a great day. And welcome to Flying with Mike. Just a quick little background for the rest of you out there. I've been streaming since about 2020, so about three and a half years. Made the switch to X-Plane back in 2020, same year. The computer I had kind of went due to memory, and I had to buy a new one. So at the same time, switched over to X-Plane and not going back to the competitor. Prior to that, I've been flying on the sim since 1998-99 timeframe with Microsoft 98 or 2000. Can't remember where I started. All the way up to FSX. And before that, folks, was I earned a private pilot's license back in the 80s. I just haven't been able to fly on it since then because of, if you're familiar with the general aviation world, it's very expensive. So there's a little quick rundown on me. Welcome aboard. You're going to fly us again. Find us flying X-Plane 11 or 12, mostly X-Plane 12. We try to stay up to date, and we fly anything from ToLiss to Fearless to Flight Factors, Zebo. Yesterday we flew the V-Flight Piper Arrow and some of the default aircraft within X-Plane 12, like the Citation 10. So welcome in. Glad to have you all aboard. And Stefan A380, thank you for the follow. Currently, we are flying for, Millennium Aviation today. And if you're interested in them, here's a link to them. Head over, check them out, folks. They are a pretty easygoing airline in that I say we fly for a couple that are very strict that you fly the proper livery with the proper plane. and don't think you can sneak an aircraft that airline doesn't have through them. You won't. They'll reject it. But no, MACAIR is laid back enough to say, hey, they have gone in and have put a whole lot of different airlines, flying literally the world on their schedules in the open division that you join. And through their substitution process, you can fly just about any aircraft on any route. I say just about because you may find one you can't. In that case, join their charter division on top of the open, and then you can fill the gap. And if you like cargo and historical, they have divisions for that. So check them out there, folks. It's in the chat room. All right, we are flying today the ToLiss A319 for them on a tour, leg 15 of 20. It's the African Airbus tour, and there's 3 parts to it. We're still working our way through part 1. And we've actually had a fun time flying down here in Africa. So, give you a little bit about that, a little bit about the airline we're flying for. We also fly for Virtual American, Virtual Piedmont, or Piedmont Virtual, I guess would be the true name, Pan Am Virtual, and Sim Air Force. So, along with FedEx Express Virtual. So, and FedEx Express Virtual is one of my favorites. So, we'll be flying them a little later in the week. So, but anyway, folks, sit back, relax, enjoy that music. We've got about, another 50 minutes to Mozambique. Maputo International Airport, just outside South Africa. So, hope you all enjoy. All right, we're going to kind of hold the music right there, folks, and let's take a look at this arrival into Mozambique one more time, because I know there's a bunch of you that weren't here for the pre-flight where we talked it up. Winds are changing here, folks. Hang on. As of 21 minutes ago, 313 gusting to 24 thunder showers in the area. Overcast at 2,000. Well, you know what? Instead of me chatting, let me show it. All right, here's the charts program from Navgraph, folks. Navgraph is really into the flight sim. Not only do they update your FMCs, but now with the other flight sim out there and X-Plane, the actual simulators are updating every month. So they're as up to date, although kind of curious with a couple we've run into. what happened. But overall, folks, they're really into it. Navgraph now has charts so that you can see where you're going and what you're, looking at. And we ran into a little trouble with Shanghai's Zulu Sierra Papa Delta. Looked like most of the ILSs either weren't ported into the flight sim with the last update. That may be a flight sim issue, or you would think all of that works off the nav data. And it did port into the FMCs, so I don't know where the problem came in. But we ended up getting on the ground safely, although we should have gone around. Right, currently, I didn't catch this. We are technically low IFR conditions in Mozambique. If you're not reading this carefully, first off, we have it showing right here. It's again 22 minutes ago. 1,500 meters for visibility, so we're going to have to really pay attention to the instrument approach we're doing. There's a possibility we may have to switch up to the 2-3. Matter of fact, let's take a look at that real quick. Okay, we're going to go right now. We're legal, folks. At 1,500 meters, we're legal. Visibility minimums are 3 or 1,300. Whew. Let's call squeaking this one out. So our decision altitude will be 370 feet. Flying the RNAV. Whew. Gonna be fun, folks. But it's always fun here at Flying with Mike. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pull up the arrival chart. So we just now got this. Now we do have an ILS available to us if we need it. The winds are kind of, well, you know what? 5 is 2-3, and we're showing 300. You know what? Technically, we ought to bring it in on the 2-3. That's a 70 knot cross or a 70 degree. You know what? We may have to change up here, folks. All right. So let's get the right one up here. We're going to look in brief for both. All right. Now, this will be for the ILS if we do switch over to the ILS 23, runway 23. Actually, it's set up for the RNAV, but we can adjust to the, unless there is one. Let's see, what's this one? Oh, that's coming in wrong. Right, so that would be what we need to do. But again, it's specifying the RNAV GNS arrivals runway 23. So I'm going to go ahead, pin that. Okay. And then let's take a look at what's available. We do have an ILS. And we can go down to cat. You know what? We're going to switch. The winds are great enough. We're going to make the switch. Gotta love doing it, folks. It happens in the real world. We're switching over. So bear with me here a second, folks. Okay, so back to flights. Runway change. 2-3. Arrivals. Add. And instrument approach wise, we're going to go ahead, go with the ILS. All right, and we'll vector to final. All right. Still looking at a 13 knot crosswind, folks. 0 across the nose. But I think this will be better visibility wise, getting us in even lower. Should be ILS is going to give us 550 meters. So that's more than 1,000. And being a C aircraft, 207. So yeah, we can even come down lower. So yeah, so let's brief this up, and then we're going to put it into the McDo. All right, so now everyone's getting something new. So airport's at 147 MSL, so it's above the sea level by 147 feet. HEPA, all the altitudes are HEPA, so we're set there. Transition by ATC. Of course it's going to say that. It always does. It is set up for us to fly the GNS. We're going to go ahead with the ILS, like we said, from ATUSI to AX or XAKAL. That's what we're going to fly until we decide to shang over to the final approach course. Okay. That being, here's how we're going to do it. We can either do the 10-mile DME or just cut over. Not really sure. We'll see how it plays out. However, we're going to come in at 1,700 feet, intercept the ILS at the outer marker, draw and fly it in. So that's our initial procedure. Approach this frequency, tower this one, and your ground. Again, no CTAF, folks. We are long distance away from BAT USA. Nothing to worry about there. Okay, so we'll be flying 122.8. All right, let's go ahead, pull this up. And yeah, we're not going to worry about the step. We're not going to worry about it. Let's go to F plan. Since we're not too far out, let's get this programmed correctly. There's our rivals ILS. We're coming in ATUS 1 Bravo. And we're going to vector to final. All right. All right, so we're past Kurla, going to Nagad, ToLiss, and then I believe we start our top of descent and head into ATUSI with no altitude restriction showing here. Okay, so again, 110.3 for our ILS, 227's the final approach course. Outer marker is at 1,400 feet MSL, 1,253 feet AGL. And we'll get to the decision altitude and height in a minute. Straight ahead as directed, and then they'll tell us to come back probably on one of these two arcs to come in. All right, so I'm not really sure where we'll end up. My guess is about right here. We'll fly the ILS. Outer marker is 329. Wait a minute, that is not, is that the LOM? Not depicted. It should be because I'm not sure why the LOM is not depicted here. All right, well, from the outer marker to the missed approach is 4 miles. At our speed, we'll be right about 2 minutes, folks. I'm sorry. Back it off a little, but we'll be about 150-ish. Okay, we're going to be right about 130 is my guess. All right. And again, we should be seeing high ALS PAPIs on the left. Here's the part we're wanting, minimums that we can take. we're performance C. So we got to watch for this category, this category. One more time with the weather, folks. 32 minutes old. 313. That's roughly, just throwing the ballpark out there, about 70 degrees off center. That's a pretty stiff crosswind coming in. 13 gusts to 24. Now, here's where it gets really tricky. Okay, 1500 here. I'm going to use this. Let me do it this way. All right, what I did here is just hide the rest of the data so we can see all of this. All right. So winds are 330 at 330 degrees at 13. They're gusty to 24. We have a visibility of 1,500 meters. We are allowed 550 meters. Without the flight director, without a HUD, or without the autopilot, we go back. We actually increase our visibility. That's what this node is. Okay, so we can accept METAR is above ground level. So what's in brackets is above ground level. So long as stuff is above 207 feet, which, by the way, a METAR will not read 0027. It'll just read 002. So in this case, we're going to need 3003. Well, the good thing is our overcast ceiling is set at 2,000 feet, 1,800, 1,700 feet above that minimum altitude. We're good altitude-wise. We're good visibility-wise, so we're cleared in on the ILS. If for some reason the weather goes really south on us, do have Category 2 capability, and we are at 128 feet now AGL, and 400 meters. We don't really gain a lot. Otherwise, we're going to Johannesburg. So there's your charts. There's what we're doing now, runway 23. Surprise, surprise. Now, let's get over to the EFB, work out our landing data. Okay, the nice thing here, I wish that departure takeoff one would show the METAR they're working from, because it helps you to know, do I need to go get the latest? Okay, well, we are working from the latest. Here is that METAR. It should look very much the same, folks. Again, because NavGraph also puts the METAR into English, I'll call it your language, your way of understanding it. 2983 they're calling. Okay, we're fine. So this information's good. We're landing on a 12,000 foot runway. We're going to have the reversers obviously on. So everything here minus, let me check our landing weight, 123, call it 124. Decimal, good on that? Yeah, okay, I couldn't remember how it did it. All right, so with no brakes, so we're not doing the Southwest Airlines styled braking action. Those of you who have flown on Southwest Airlines know You do need insurance because they are going to slam you literally into the seat in front of you when they land. Just kidding. Not that abrupt, but very close. It has been wondered if in a reject takeoff or a Southwest style normal landing, there's much difference. Sorry for those who might fly Southwest, but get ready. So if we do everything right, we're going to need 4,050 feet of runway, 6,100 feet with a margin of 5,800 feet. So we're looking really good. I'm going to keep it as is. Now, over here on the McDo, we're going to go to the perf page. Okay, don't activate the approach phase until you take over the speed, or you're going to slow to that number and drag it all the way until you take over that speed. Okay, so the nice thing here is we know 2982 is 1010. Currently our temperature is 20 degrees. And currently the winds are, oh my God, at 13. Now, there is a way to factor in that gust. I don't understand it fully, so that's why I don't. Transition level. A lot of times I have to get it off the instrument arrival chart. And it is 3,000. Really hate it when they're that low. All right, and everything else. So, as I said, right about 130. 123 is our anticipated touchdown speed. We'll see how we do. If we do everything right, we should. Let's see here. Bear with me. Coming in 2-3. If we do everything right, we can get off at Bravo and taxi in. Okay. Now I am going to get an extra chart here. No, disregard. I was hoping I would get a parking chart. They don't have it for FQM. We're coming in on the international domestic, so we're going to come in, cross runway 2810, right into the international apron. Don't know if we have jetways or not, so I'm thinking right now we don't. So otherwise, we'll cross over or turn on the runway back taxi and head back. We'll see how this works out. This could be very, very interesting. Otherwise, it's a full-length rollout. And we don't make Bravo, it's going to be very close if we land where we're supposed to. I'm going to go ahead and turn the ignition off. All right, let's do another quick system check. I know I didn't finish the other one. Let's go back here. A lot of people wonder, what's the use of this page other than on the ground? Well, first off, it's telling me, yeah, our slides are armed. Well, 37,000 feet, who really cares? True. However, we're more worried right here. These are the actual air tanks in the cockpit for the crew to use when they're at a certain altitude, or, God forbid, depressurization happens, they got to get down. So they're breathing while they're getting the plane down under 10,000 feet, or between 13 and 10. So they're in where people can breathe. And we need to make sure we have adequate amount. So this is separate from the air oxygen the passenger gets. They get their oxygen from the infamous oxygen generators. Want to find out? Look up value jet with an oxygen. Why I say infamous. And you know, boy, I'm going to check something here real quick. I just looked at the length of 2.8. We don't have any approaches for it. Never mind. It was trying to trick me. Yeah, I was kind of looking at a cross runway to see if it would help us, and it's not. All right. And then anyway, so I wanted to point that out here. 1850 is a good number. All doors are closed, brakes are cooled, and hydraulics. Quick little tidbit here, folks. Let me show you hydraulics. You have a green, blue, and a yellow system. Okay, each one, they kind of overlap to help prevent any massive catastrophes like Sioux City. So when you look at this picture, G, B, Y, that's your hydraulic systems that control your ability to control the plane. So when you lose, say, hydraulic, the blue system goes out. Well, what do I lose? Part of the ailerons, part of the elevator, part of the rudder. Oh, I lose the trim. And potentially, I don't know which one does the landing gear and our different systems here. But you get this kind of gives the crew an idea. Oh, what don't we have? This way they know whether they can fly if the planes, if they're going to have trouble on landing. What about the brakes? Speed brakes, reversers. These are all things that are going to have to be figured in now on the approach. So this right here tells them, okay, what I can do with the plane. Then the book will tell them which one does the gear and that, or they already know this because they fly the plane every day, or a plane of this nature. Okay, there's our status. Everything's normal, and we're good to go. All right. The only thing I didn't populate in here was MDA and DH. On our chart, we said 354 feet MSL, 207 AGL. So here's how I read this gauge. And I could be wrong, but this is how I do things. If it has an M, that means to me means sea level. So this decision altitude would be the bold numbers on your chart. If I'm going by above ground, I'll go here. They'll be the ones in the brackets. Now, as I've seen from a couple videos, how this is determined by the flight crews, so long as they're shooting just a plain old ILS, not a Cat 2 or 3, and I believe, well, no, I'm not going to say because I don't remember them speaking of it. But as long as it's a normal ILS, they'll put in the Barrow MSL above sea level number. That's what I'm going to do. Well, that now means there, Captain, we have to be 300 feet. Negative. That is above sea level. The chart has this airport and the runway at 147 feet above sea level. Folks, that is the same number when you factor in how high the airport is as your 207-foot AGL. It is the same point in the sky. Now, one thing here, let's say, well, I don't trust it, so I'm putting 207. Okay, fine. You can't put both numbers in there. It only takes one, folks, because it's the same altitude. It's just, what are we reading it from? MSL, which is right here, or AGL, which you'll see when we start getting around 3,000 above ground, maybe 2,500. So again, I'm going 354. See, if I put it back in, the DH goes. They're both the same, folks, at its same height. Just how is it read on the Earth? Is it from the sea level or is it from the ground level? Hope that all made sense. If not, I know it's mud. Hey, we might end up in the mud. Who knows? But welcome in, folks. Hope you all enjoy. Thanks for the follows we've gotten today. We sure do appreciate them. From Stefan A380, and I know we got another one. Oh, it was in Usick with the resub for now for the 11th month. Wow. Thank you, sir. I was going to say, I know my alerts have been going off, so really appreciate y'all. All right, folks, let's see here. How far out is topic? Okay, so just starting to get in range of our top of descent. So what I'm going to do, the perf page, we're 61 out. Let's run that checklist. All right, down to 20 miles out. All right, so basically landing elevation, very simple, folks. It's going to tell you right here, auto. And during your pre-flight, this switch, you would check to make sure it's at 12 o'clock, which is auto. Okay, we've got the arrival, we've got the performance data in. The only thing we need to do, update the winds. Now we can do this a couple of ways. Again, we can go to data, function, boom, or we have a discontinuity. I didn't catch that early. We'll work it here. Hang on. We'll come back to it. All right, let's, okay, this side, if you click this line select, it's going to allow you to work airways if you're adding them. What's your next waypoint, new distance, enable you to go to your alternate and so forth. I thought your hold was here too. So we'll just return. This side opens up where you can slap a speed restriction or altitude restriction. They call them constraints in the world of Airbus. And we can go here to a wind request and be ready with our winds being updated for the descent. One other thing we can do is go here. Is it here? ATSU. So you go to the menu, ATSU, AOC, and I can get the weather or FQMA, stick it there, get the METAR. Return, received messages, 851 right there. So that's telling us our latest METARs for both Mozambique and for Johannesburg. Still on the same one, and we can actually print it. Now I want to check something. It's been printing pretty much. Yep, it already did. Didn't even touch it. Okay, ToLiss folks. How the heck do I read this once it's here? Anyway, it's right here, folks. 313 gusts to 24 as of looking at on this one now. 52 minutes ago, folks. So thunder shower in progress, scattered at 900, overcast 2000, 2500 base for CBs, 20 and 18, 10, 10. CBs still to the north and east. We'll see how this ends up playing out on radar. Now, once you're done here, I'm going to try something, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to work. No information available. I don't know if that's going to be VATSIM or is needed, or if there's even something out there for it. Okay, back to F plan. Perf, we are now 31 miles out. This, folks, is your CPDLC, and for the most part, I don't really see them doing much with it. We can connect to the Hoppy network, but I don't see many controllers using it. And that's the shame, because it's actually very helpful. Okay, as close as we are now, let's continue from. All right, so from, I just clicked something, there we go. So 20 miles out, technically, we can set our altitude and begin our descent. 1700. Okay, single dot is managed, double dot's open. Managed means it's coming down how this is set up, how the McDo and the aircraft read all of the information around it. Open means you control it by the vertical speed or by setting pitch to a certain degree. I don't know how to do that. Would love to have one of you out there help me through a couple things on here, but for now, settle for what we can and can't do. All right, so serious? All right, so I am going to go ahead and put it in an open descent. $1,800 for now. We'll see how that's translating out. And I'm going to actually, I don't think we have any really high terrain nearby. Charts are saying 2,800 feet northwest to southwest of the airport. Obviously, we have the ocean the other way, so, you know, so we'll kind of play this one out by ear. But again, thanks for being a part of Flying with Mike today. I sure appreciate having you all here. And we're looking forward to a pretty decent landing. If you want to put your information in, I'll show you how simple it is. Exclamation mark, the word predict. And we're going to go for a -200. And that's all you got to do, folks. Exclamation mark, predict, space, -200. So, folks, we've started our descent. We are in an open descent. And headed for 1,700 feet. Looking, you know what? Let's try something. Let's go ahead and bring in the map. Ooh, that looks ugly, folks. That is our airport. Yeah, folks, that's what we're flying into. We'll see how that starts playing out on our radar here in a minute. Ooh, that's a little ugly. All right, so folks, get ready. We've got some thunderstorms ahead. All right, continuing. I may set up for a Cat 2 arrival and we'll take over when we see the runway. But yeah, I think we're going to do that. All right, let's go ahead, start getting everybody in their seats. Lights are on. And if you haven't figured it out, yes, we have set the time to daylight because, folks, you would not see this plane except maybe the lighting for the passengers at night. I kind of like people able to see the plane. All right, so we are inbound Mozambique. Alternate, if needed, is Johannesburg. I only say that, folks, because we do have thunderstorms pretty kind of mean looking ahead of us. So we'll kind of see how the radar pans that in here as we enter the star at ATUSI. Show you a little feature. Hopefully it'll work. Nope. Not sure where NavGraph gets its weather from. They all pull it from different sources, folks. But yeah, in the US, you would have seen the weather here. So, unfortunately, oh well, that failed miserably. All right, and not sure if this is the weather, but I have a feeling it is. At some point here, folks, I am going to go direct to the ILS. Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah. Now, the good thing is we might actually be able to sneak this one. Let me see something. Atsu, anything on altitudes? No. Really hate that, folks. We don't even have a minimum for the DME arc. So 1700. And we can start seeing it sneaking in here on the corners. Okay, no new information. Again, I thank you all for being a part of Flying with Mike today. It's my pleasure. Hope you all enjoy the arrival as we are going to be punching into some thunderstorms. And I'll give you a little tidbit. Some toolkits not showing it either. Do want to see we're 1,700 feet. Oh boy. I think I might go ahead and go direct. Oh boy, they're making it so hard. Low. That doesn't help. Are you really kidding me? I'll be doggone. Somebody came up. Holy mackerel. All right, we need to go to 121,300. Am I talking with approach Springbok 572 with you, descending through 18,000 for the ILS 23.
Springbok 572, good evening. Maputo approach, squawk is 20, correction. Stand by.
Okay, I won't have to do.
Springbok 572, squawk 6435.
6435 for Springbok 572. Uh, 645.
Springbok 572, radar identified passing flight level 167, and the radar control descend of flight level manager.
Roger, descend to 9,000, Springbok 572.
Springbok 572, expect vectors for the ILS approach, runway 23.
Okay, vectors for the ILS runway 23. All right, I'm going to go ahead and lower my range. Steepen this up.
Mark 572, were you able to expedite descent?
We're expedited to 2300. You need more?
Mark 572, negative, turn left heading 160.
Heading 160, Springbok 572.
And Mark 572, you can descend up to 3000 feet, QNH 1010.
1010 down to 3000, Springbok 572. Okay, we need speed brakes. Okay, we're picking up the frequency, folks. Okay, here we go. Let's expedite down. All right, now we're going to need more than that. Okay, we're going to go ahead and pull the speed back. Now, how did it do? Yep, it's going to be a messy, messy cabin.
Mark 572, turn right heading 190.
Right turn 190, Springbok 572. That was a nice lightning bolt. Got a feeling we're going to have to loop around.
Mark 572, turn right heading 245, clear the last approach runway 23.
Right 245 cleared for the approach, Springbok. Hang on, hit the wrong switch here. Cleared for the ILS 23, 245 heading.
Mark 572, that was a bit late. I don't think you'll be able to intercept it. Again, I'll circle you around back for the approach.
Copy, Springbok 572. I'll get localizer disabled.
Mark 572, turn left heading 040.
Left turn 040, Springbok 572. That'll also allow us to get slowed down. We're having a hard time at this descent rate. All right, we're now, we're going to keep the flaps up right now. This is a good little thunderstorm. Operation South American 572. Yeah, we're going to need people to meet us at the gate. Got quite a few that got sick. All right, we're coming up on 040, folks. I got a feeling the winds are playing such. Look at that. We're hitting a zero. We're getting very close to it, but wow. Track me around, dude, and I can make this approach.
Springbok 572, turn left heading 310.
Repeat the heading for Springbok.
Springbok 572, turn left heading 310.
310, Springbok 572. And again, I'm glad I asked, folks. I thought he said 180. Look at this lightning, folks. Wow.
Springbok 572, turn left heading 255, cleared for the ILS approach on 823.
Okay, left turn 255 cleared for the ILS approach, Springbok 572. Okay, low. Speed brakes, let's get them ready because we may need them to slow down. And you know what I'm gonna do here, folks? Okay, everything's available, so we're gonna punch in approach. Okay, weather 16 minutes old, variable winds now at 2.
Springbok 572, small correction, turn right heading 260 and you're re-cleared for the ILS approach on 80, correction 23.
260, still cleared, ILS 23. Springbok 572. Still, technically 1011.
Springbok 572, you can descend altitude 2,500 and you're re-cleared for the ILS approach on 823.
Down to 2500, Springbok 572, cleared ILS 23. Crap. Oh, we may have to go missed, folks. Gears coming down. Think maybe we'll get on the ILS. Yeah, we're going to have to go around. All right, we're going around. And Springbok 572, we're going to have to go around. We are way too high.
Springbok 572, roger, climb altitude 3000 feet, then turn left heading 040.
Okay, 3000, 040, Springbok 572. Ah, that was just not cool, folks. Yeah, the good thing is the storm may actually get out of here before I do. Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay, flaps are back up.
Springbok 572, turn right heading 06 here.
Right turn 060, Springbok 572. Oh, that is the edge, folks. Maybe we will fly out of it. The latest METAR shows possibility of that. Broken 2,000, yeah, still scattered 1,000, 2,500 foot, but yeah, it's getting close. Yeah, we're getting close to that edge. We'll see how it plays out. But the intensity looks like it's almost gone, but we've got an opening right here. I'd really like to know where these fixes play out on this chart, Cat 2. All right. Actually, yeah, we are seeing a little break in it. Wow. Look at that. That's pretty good. That's pretty cool. Okay, we're passing 10 miles. We're at the DME arc.
Mark 572, turn left heading 310.
Springbok 572, left turn 310. Yeah, so much for the radar. Now we're back in it. All right, 310. I think we're actually right outside the arc. All right, I know y'all aren't seeing the chart. I'm not worrying about pulling it up. All right, so okay, everything's still configured. Brakes, we haven't got the speed brakes armed yet. We may need them yet still for the return, but I think this time will be hopefully coupled up better.
Mark 572, turn left heading 250, cleared for the ILS approach, runway 23.
250 cleared for the ILS, Springbok 572.
Maputo approach, Africana 204. Africana 204, good evening, Maputo approach. Please fly the plan. Could you please repeat that for Africana 204? Africana 204, you need a flight plan. Africana 204, it's filed. Sorry, refile it. Africana 204, squawk 6403. Squawk 6403, Africana 201. Correction, 204. Africana 204, your rate identified passing flight level 080. And the radar control climb flight level 150. Flight level 150, Africana 204. You almost killed someone there, you know, taking off in the opposite direction. Happens, normal Africana operations.
And approach Springbok 572, we're fully established.
Springbok 572, winds are variable at 2 knots. Runway 23, get to land.
Cleared to land 23, Springbok 572.
Mark question, Africana 204, unfortunately, Joburg control is offline. You can now monitor Unicom 1122.8. Be safe. Unicom 122.8, have a good evening, sir.
Okay, a little nervous. Let's go full Cat 3 approach. Okay, flaps full. Okay, I think we're slowing now. Here we go, folks. We are set up for an auto land worst case scenario.
$500. $400.
Got the runway. At least the environment. I don't have the runway yet.
300.
There's the runway.
$200.
Minimum.
$100. 50. 40. 30. 20.
Retard.
10.
Fired.
And approach Springbok 572. Are we able to back taxi, or do we just taxi to the end? Yeah, the end's not that far away, so we'll just go to the end. And approach Springbok 572. We'll be exiting here at Alpha to the terminal.
Springbok 572, welcome to Maputo. Vacate 11 Alpha, 10 left on Delta and go to stand number 3.
Left on Delta, stand 3 for Springbok 572, and just PIREP for you, we broke out about 250.
Springbok 572, roger, thank you, and Maputo's approach is disconnecting. Have a good night.
You too, sir. Thanks for the ATC. Sorry for the go around. You guys got some lovely weather here.
Yeah, it is pretty bad today.
Have a good night, sir.
You too, goodbye, thank you for that.
And there you go, folks. That was an all-out Cat 3 arrival. Let's get this plane set up for the gate. All right, folks, they've disconnected. Get the weather radar off. That was simply amazing, folks. I have to tell you, great weather depiction again from X-plane. Wow, what a storm. All right, so don't need that anymore. All right, let's see, flaps. Oh, let's get that APU going. We didn't start it yet. We started it. All right, it'll be just a tad here, folks, as we get that APU wound up. But that gives us time. Brakes look, uh, let's check that gauge. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 27 28 29 30 31 32 33 34 35 36 37 38 39 40 41 42 43 44 45 46 47 48 49 50 51 52 53 54 55 56 57 58 59 60 61 62 63 64 65 66 67 68 69 70 71 72 73 74 75 76 77 78 79 80 81 82 83 84 85 86 87 88 89 90 91 92 93 94 95 96 97 98 99 100 101 102 103 104 105 106 107 108 109 110 111 112 113 114 115 116 117 118 119 120 121 122 123 124 125 126 127 128 129 130 131 132 133 134 135 136 137 138 139 140 141 142 143 144 145 146 147 148 149 150 151 152 153 154 155 156 157 We'll let the brake fans run. Terrain rated off, off. Spoilers. Unarmed. All right, folks. Again, thank you for flying. We'll take the minute and a half here to get things squared away. Then we'll go through the flight. Thank you, folks, so much for being a part of Flying with Mike. All right, folks, back with you. I see we're coming out of the break right now. We got the engines off. The only thing running right now is the beacon. Get that off. Bleeds on. Seatbelts off. All right, so let's get the jetway in here if it'll come in. There it is. Not really sure where this one was supposed to connect. Wow, what a storm they have here, folks. Wow. All right, enough of the good fun stuff. Let's get to the important stuff here. That's not actually bad with what we had, 380. Again, though, that again was an auto land, folks. So that was the safest course to take here. Guess somebody decided to come at us. It's not the first. All right, so just kind of working my way through. Okay, we've disconnected, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that. 177 feet a minute, we'll take it. And let's pull Sim Toolkit in here and take a look at this so you all see why I use this tool versus Volanta. All right, first off, you can kind of see what we did here. This is when we came in. We did a little loop-de-loop. He cut me in too early. That's why we couldn't get the glide slope. If we'd have gotten the glide slope, we'd have made it. But we didn't. Second time around, he was better prepared, kept us out further. So that was perfect. All right, so let me finish the flight. Okay. I may need to add this. Okay, that's no biggie. Let's click on it. There's our routing. Like I said, pretty simple till we got here to where all heck broke loose. All right, in all, the flight was 2 hours, 14 minutes, 677 miles, and we burned, let's call it 4,600 kilograms of fuel. Landed 1.2 Gs, and as you can see, 388 feet a minute, 172, I think I saw with the airline. Had a hard time with speed, folks, but we're good here. This is what I like. Ah, I clicked the wrong button again, folks. Sorry. View full landing report. That little tidbit is all you would get with Volanta. Here, well, here it didn't because I think, well, it is on 1, 2, 3. Not sure why it didn't go into more detail, but hey, the big thing it's showing is where we touched down. Gives you an idea, and even on auto land, folks, see, it put us in here instead of up here. This is your visual aiming point. Your PAPIs, your ILS, all kind of gear you to here. All right, and then the landing zone extends to about right here. And after that, yeah, I mean, you can land. Folks, it's almost 13,000 feet, or no, 12,000 feet. So plenty of runway. As you saw, we basically taxied out the whole thing. So really, I'm going to call it a good landing for this. And we're going to be a little delayed getting out of here, folks, if we were going, because, yeah, they're going to have to go in and clean it up. I even think the first officer puked. All right, well, let's do one last thing here, folks, or at least attempt. I don't know how well this will work or be able to be seen, but we're going to try and do a replay. So that way those of you here can see one of the other great tools X-Plane brings to the mat. It records the entire flight without you having to download an additional program, get it installed, and then when you get to the point you want to start, fire it up, start it, so it records you from that point. Hang on, folks. I think I just might have to... Now, we did this a couple days ago. Let's see if it works again. Don't think the trees would be there, folks, but... Remember, this is auto land, folks. Technically, not allowed to do it. Screenshots. Nice. Yeah, these trees would all be gone to at least here. Got to be able to see the approach lights. I can't even imagine the tower being able to see, folks. Let's take a look out here. I don't know if it's really jungle or what we got down here, but obviously a little overkill on the trees, but not a bad landing, folks, for the computer. Did a good job. We had to auto land. Let's take a look out the other side. Again, folks, looks great. Oh, what a fun time. And again, you can learn so much here, folks. I can actually sit here and go into and watch us coming in. Again, this is auto land, so you can learn a lot from it. All right, folks, I think we've had our fun here. I don't know if we'll be able to see from the tower. We'll give it a shot, but nope. One last look. All right, folks, we're going to call it a night. I want to say thank you all so much for coming out. In Lusaka, welcome in with the resubscribe, 11 months. Thank you so much, sir. And Stefan A380, thank you for following us. We sure appreciate you. Folks, we're going to call it tonight. What a flight. We're going to call it a great flight. Bear with me here. I'll give you an idea what tomorrow. I told you it's Allegiant Day. So we're going to be in an A320 from Flight Factor. So as I put us back on the stand, let me get in here real quick and get them so they don't start abandoning ship real quick. Wrong one. There we go. All right, that way our little guys here stick around for a little longer. But anyway, folks, fun flight. Hope you all enjoy. Tomorrow we're going to come out of Clarksburg, West Virginia for Myrtle Beach. Time permits, we do have 1 or 2 more flights planned. See you tomorrow. God bless you all. Hope you all have a great night. And tomorrow we hope to get a better start time. See you tomorrow, Twitch guys. We'll see if we can find someone online to hand it off to. Otherwise, have a great night.